For many people, food is just fuel, something you eat and move on from. But sometimes, food becomes time.
Time spent learning, failing, repeating, years of discipline, culture, and memory, all arriving at your table in a single evening.
Tonight, we're at Metodo restaurant by chef Marco Stagi. And what happens here is honestly insane. This isn't just a meal. It's the story of a chef who worked relentlessly for years, translated into flavor.
Every course feels like a chapter. Technique is in decoration, its language, tradition is in nostalgia, its foundation, and creativity isn't noise, is intention.
In the span of one dinner, you experience art, history, and personal evolution, served plate by plate. And when food can do that, it stops being just food. It becomes something you remember.
Located in the historic village of Marne, near Bergamo, Metodo opened in 2024. The space is intimate, warm, and grounded. No distractions, no theatrics, because here, the food does all the talking.
And for us, this wasn't just a great dinner. It was a reminder of why we fell in love with hospitality in the first place. A restaurant that doesn't just feed you, it actually moves you. And once you experience it, there's no going back.
The journey starts with the same wine that will accompany both the amuse-bouche and the first course.
It's the Champagne Brut Suprême Aléran. Fresh, vibrant, razor sharp, a champagne that doesn't dominate but sets the tone. It cleans the palate, wakes you up and tells you pay attention, this is going to matter.
And then the amuse-bouche arrives. We begin with a Romanesco cabbage stick, coated in furikake, and finish with a black garlic emulsion, umami-driven and quietly addictive.
It's very crunchy, so nice texture to start with, but overall pretty mild. Next, a perfectly shaped sphere, a financier. Here, it's transformed into something savory. Almond flour, oregano, Dijon mustard, and marjoram.
Then comes a sablé, a classic French crumble biscuit, filled with 30-month-aged Comté cheese. Finish with a sharp, vibrant arugula emulsion that cuts straight through the richness.
Really tastes a lot like ricotta fumicata. It has this hint of smoked cheese. It's very good.
And finally, for the best part, the bread service. House-made and changing with every menu.
Look at this.
In this version, roasted onion and tomato soup flavor baked directly into the dough.
First of all.
It's paired with a crème fraîche with chives and quinoa, a butter infused with casoncello, and the barbecue vinegar.
Just a bit spicy.
Okay.
The bread is insane. I don't think you understand. It's insanity. Oh, it's the best I've ever tried. Like the best bread of a restaurant I've ever tried. This is madness.
What I do like is that they give you 3 different things to have your bread with. Sometimes they only give you butter or just one thing to have it on, olive oil, butter, whatever it is. But I love the fact that they go beyond just having one thing to try. You can really have fun with it.
Before we go on to the presentation of the chef, we just want to mention that this was the best amuse-bouche we've ever had together on this channel, if not in all of the restaurants we've ever tried. It was truly that amazing.
And this is where we need to stop and talk about chef Marco Stagi. Marco's story starts where the best ones usually do, in his grandmother's kitchen in Alzano Lombardo, where cooking wasn't performance, it was a memory.
From there, the path became serious. Hospitality school in San Pellegrino Terme, then some of the most important kitchens in Europe. Working with Enrico Cripa at Piazza Duomo, training at Hof van Cleve under Peter Goossens, a masterclass in discipline, precision, and respect for ingredients.
He returns to Italy, earns a Michelin star in Bolle, and instead of settling, he questions everything. Metodo is the answer to that question. This is a chef who doesn't cook to impress, he cooks to explain.
Moving on to the first course, personally presented by the chef.
Come state? Tutto bene, grazie a lei.
It's a Belgian endive, crisp and bitter, paired with shaved pecorino romano. Capers also appear in multiple forms. Leaves, gel emulsion, finished with a classic French sauce financière.
For those unfamiliar, the sauce is made with chicken liver and hearts, red onion, anchovies, and capers. Bold, deep, and unapologetic. And yet, this dish was shockingly gentle.
I just don't taste the capers. He said there were going to be some capers, but I don't get them. I don't have the hints in my mouth.
The next dish will be paired with an orange wine from Liguria. Spigao says da tempo Rocche del Gatto. This wine is an outlier, and that's exactly why it works. It's oxidative, layered, and textured. It carries savory notes and a gentle tannic grip.
La sua caratteristica. Invece al palato.
On the plate, for the second course, we have a base of red onion cream and gel, smoked eel bringing the fat and depth, caramelized pine nuts for sweetness, and fresh radicchio placed right on top.
Here, the wine does something beautiful. Its oxidative character rounds the bitterness of the radicchio, its texture absorbs the smokiness of the eel, and suddenly the dish relaxes. It breathes.
Bite. Radicchio is very bitter, but there's a sweetness coming. Oh, something right now is sweet.
Pistacchio caramellato.
Let's try it with the wine. Very good pairing.
On to the next wine, we have the Verde Luce from the Famiglia Cottarella. For our viewers, if you remember, we had it already in Rome, this producer. The wine is elegant but expressive, driven by freshness, citrus, and subtle salinity. A wine that brings light without being fragile.
And as for the dish, it's a Saint-Jacques Arrosto with beurre noisette, fresh goat cheese, and chinotto. The scallop is perfectly cooked, glazed in the beurre noisette. The fresh goat cheese surrounds it, acting like a frame holding the sauce in place. The whole is finished with mustard seeds and a gel of chinotto and cedar.
Okay, we're not chefs, right? So let's start from that. But the pairing of goat cheese with scallop, insane. Insane.
The pairing is moving on to France with a glass of Puy Fussé André Guachot from Bourgogne. We expected richness and creaminess because of the aging, but instead we were met with unexpected acidity and tension, and that's exactly what the dishes needed. For my dish, I'm being presented with capelletti in brodo, with ricotta, celeriac, and sesame. Celeriac cooked in a salt crust, topped with aromatic gel and sesame oil. The dish is topped with a turnip broth, extremely rich and flavorful.
So I'm not gonna try Eva's dish, but I can smell the broth from here. How good it is and how strong the smell is, it's insane.
But she said 100% vegetables. And it smells that strong. Wow. These always end up to be my favorite dishes. So good. Wow. That could be a bit warmer.
I'll be having the Tradizione Oro, which is a rabbit ragu infused with lemon, pomata egg, grana padano crisps, and mountain potato cream. Here the wine becomes a cleanser, lifting the richness of the ragu and egg, while its structure keeps the dish grounded.
Now I got the ragu. Insane.
Ragu?
Of coniglio, it's rabbit.
And by now, the kitchen knew how much we were enjoying this, because not a single plate went back without a scarpetta.
If the egg was a bit more runny, would have been better.
Moving on to the next glass of the pairing with my first ever sake. It's a Yonetsuru Pink Kappa Junmai sake from Japan. Pink Kappa is soft, umami-driven, gently lactic with a rounded texture that behaves almost like a sauce.
This is my first ever sake of my life. I've never had anything close to it, any sake ever. So this is very special.
That's what you said.
Wow. It really tastes like strawberry yogurt. I'm not kidding, it's so good.
And now on to the craziest dish of the menu, burnt leek. The leek is marinated and cooked sous vide at low temperature to preserve its natural sweetness.
On top, maltodextrin infused with vegetal charcoal and beurre noisette, base of vongole cream finished with lentils.
She told us that this leek is not grilled because they wanted to keep all of the properties of the leek, so they sous vide it. But it really tastes like they grilled it. So it's insane they were able to achieve that without grilling it.
For me, the one thing that stands out in this dish are a lot of different textures. Like very smooth, very crunchy, very gooey.
Sake amplifies the illusion of the dish, enhancing umami and softening its bitterness.
I like it, but there's a lot going on right now. I'm not really following. There's like sweet, salty that.
Maybe I'm wrong, so we will see. But I'm starting to find a theme in all of the dishes, which is smokiness. In all of the dishes that I'm finding that we tasted, there's always a hint of something smoked.
The last glass of the pairing is a Contado di Maio Norante, a wine rooted in southern Italian warmth right above Puglia. Still, it's surprisingly fresh and spicy, structured, earthy, and comforting.
And for the last savory dish, we have Bergamo di Domenica.
It's an Iberico pork cheek braised overnight until perfectly tender. It's finished in its own cooking sauce with a carrot mustard cream on the side, as well as a burnt corn foam.
But as I said to Eva, this is one of the wines that for me, a crazy amount of tannins. I never had a wine with this many tannins before in my life, and without even trying, I can tell it's a good pairing, because when you think about Iberico, when you think about pork, when you think about a slow braised meat with this kind of like glazy sauce, there's a lot of butter, a lot of fat, so you need something to really just remove all of that butterness, all the creaminess in your mouth that comes from the fat. And I think this wine is gonna do exactly that. It's gonna just wipe off your mouth from all of the fat from the sauce, all the fat from the cheek of the pig. But I guess we have to try it now.
And we are all still wondering why Osvaldo is not yet a chef.
And to finish this beautiful dinner, we're going to have a dessert with mushroom ice cream and chocolate. Some of you might find this combo very weird, but in the culinary world, this combo is actually very known, and it works super well.
As a sweet goodbye, we get our last dessert, which is a chocolate and caramel ganache with chamomile cream and fresh sliced green apple on top.
We know we're very early in 2026, but this truly is the best restaurant I think we'll ever try.
And we want to do a last honorable mention to the chef and his partner, who were taking care of this restaurant almost by themselves. It's a pretty small team. Georgia is ruling the floor all by herself, which big congrats to that, because to be the only person in a Michelin star worthy service is really something you have to pull out.
After dinner, so if I had to say, out of all the restaurants we've tried so far, we have to say put that little intro, but it's food-wise, it's incredible. To say the least, quality-wise, for the price that you get, it's insane. So, chapeau to the chef, and for sure, we will be back, hopefully after they get a star.
I think it's also important to mention that they do bed and breakfast in this beautiful tower right over here. I think they said they had around 8 rooms, because it's also important to mention that this place is in the middle of nowhere. Like, really, I think we're around 20 minutes from Bergamo, which, if you come to this place, you really come either for the bed and breakfast or for the restaurant itself. Which, if you want to come for a getaway, have a nice restaurant, a nice bed and breakfast in a really nice place, 20 minutes from Bergamo, which is a beautiful city, go there. There you go.